And we kind of got things done.
Now, the very first musical I ever recall being produced was You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Am I right about that?
That's the first one, yeah.
And it's small. It had limited size music ensemble. The cast was manageable.
Yeah.
But that's probably how you got it off the ground.
Yeah.
Then there were those promo shows, and I think it was Black, White, and Brown.
That was one of the best promo shows we ever did.
It was. It truly was a good show.
To me, the most polished was the one we did as seniors, which was Credit Where Credit Is Due.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, absolutely.
And that was slick. And
we got to where we did pretty slick stuff.
And it also went to another interesting topic of conversation, the fact that up until, as legend has it, days before graduation, our school was not accredited in the state of Texas.
That's right. I remember doing that. Then I was sick. Remember that year you graduated? I was in the hospital for a while.
Well, there were rumors about that, Ruth. Some people say that you worked yourself into, a heart attack.
Well, it wasn't, but I was sick, and they put me in the hospital.
Well, we missed you, and of course your appearance at our graduation ceremony.
I got graduation.
Oh, it was like the second coming.
I know. I know.
At Miller Outdoor Theater. And of course, one of your dear friends and former students, Jim Bernhardt.
Jim Bernhardt did the graduation exercise, yes.
And of course, Jim has been so prevalent in the business of the arts and in the arts in Houston, a former director of the Society of Performing Arts.
He's been big in it.
SPA, etc. Well, you were actually out a couple of months or 3 months of our senior year?
No, I wasn't out that much. I was out like 6 weeks, though. Wasn't I, Gene, the end of that year? I remember I was in the hospital for a while, and they put me on the floor with all the new mothers. And I couldn't quite understand that because I certainly wasn't pregnant. But then they got me out, and I got home a little bit before graduation, but I had been working with Annette all the time. She would come and have meetings with me, and she ran the graduation the first year. I mean, she got everything. We already knew what we were going to do with caps and gowns and stuff like that. We were going to make it different from other high schools. We were always just a little bit ahead of the game.
Mark, I remember her illness. It started with a cough, and it was kind of like an asthma or allergy or whatever. But anyway, she had a collapsed lung.
That's what it was.
Ah.
And because I remember I went over there, and they were sticking something down her nose and down into a lung to try to reinflate it.
I kind of remember that now.
It wouldn't be surprising if it's somewhat a blur. You were working immense hours, as I think everyone was on that faculty.
The trouble with it was that every time the kids played any place or put on a show, people wanted me to be there. You know, the people that were putting the show on, to talk a little bit about the school and what we were doing.
You were the hottest speaker we had.
I know, and it got to the place where I got tired of having to go every place. I wanted the kids to be represented, but I didn't want to go. And
she just wore herself out.
I think that's what happened that first year. I just worked too hard.
No, that was the third year.
Yeah,
the third it took
year,
you 3 years to really wear yourself down.
Took me 3 years to get sick.
You know, there was a lot of activity during the summers, although I don't think we had it set it up for actual credit. But, for instance, that show commissioned by the Junior League, You, Me, and Who. Now, this was incredibly ambitious.
I know it.
For students to write and, in some cases, assist in producing.
I know it.
A full-scale musical. Well, I wouldn't say full-scale, but big enough.
Could do anything. And I expected you to.
Well, we were told what we could do, which was the sky's the limit, and we just believed you.
I know it. I said you were good, and you were.
And I can't remember if You, Me, and Who was in between,
it was
72, 73, or between 73 and 74. I don't remember.
It was between 73 and 74. I'm not sure.
Okay. And there was a middle, when I was in the 11th grade, there was another promo show that Scott Hardy directed.
Yeah. I forget what it was.
I forget the name of that too, but it was a good show.
Yeah. He did a good job.
And I needed to be taken down a peg, obviously. And it worked.
Well, once in a while, not often.